Hi there, everybody. I'm back with a look at the Poe Tarot. I am the artist and author behind the deck, Trisha Leigh Shufelt, and I did a part one to this video, kind of talking about the inspiration behind it and the how it came to be. So now I'm going to talk about show you the deck itself. I know that many of you are receiving your decks now. I'm so glad. I know there was an original, we thought we were going to release it earlier in the fall. I got pushed back to December, and then I got pushed back again to January. And a lot of it had, well, everything had to do with shipping delays. So, but now the decks are making their way to their homes, and I'm so happy. I know that you're happy. I'm definitely happy because, as I said in the first video, this deck has been a labor of love for many, many years, and so I'm glad it's finally making its way to your doorstep and in your hands. I'm drinking some warm tea because it's very cold today, and I've been doing a lot of talking and my throat gets dry, so please excuse me. How appropriate. I'm sorry, that was really bad. Okay. The deck. Hopefully I can get through this all. Okay, so the Poe Tarot. All right, it's from Schiffer Publishing. Red Feather, which is a division of Schiffer Publishing, is behind the deck. And I'm so grateful for everybody at Schiffer and Red Feather for believing in this, believing in this project. I'm laughing because in the first video I talked about how they rejected the first version of this. Go back and listen to that and you can understand, you'll find out why. But it's here. They took on the second go round of this, so it just goes to show, don't give up on a good idea. Just make it better if it needs to be better, which it did. Okay, so the deck, this is it. The Poe Tarot. Look at this lovely, incredibly sturdy box. I love this box so much. I am a collector. Not only do I read tarot, and I'm no professional, but I just enjoy reading it. I'm also a collector. I have over 100 decks. Mainly because of the artwork. I'm just so enthralled by the artwork that I often collect the decks because it's little pieces of art from the artist, and being an artist, I can really appreciate this kind of thing. So the deck comes in a really hard, sturdy box, which I love. It's not a tuck box. It's not going to get easily ruined. It's, you know, very, very sturdy. It's black, white, and red, which I adore because the deck is black and white. And it has a magnetic closure, which is really cool, super cool. I've already taken the cards out, so and I've played with them quite a bit, so they're not actually in here, but you get a little ribbon inside which helps you pull your deck out, and there's some cardboard sort of to keep it in place. And you'll also you'll notice when you open your deck, there's going to be like these pieces of cardboard on top, and you're probably thinking, well, what's this for? It really just protects everything. It keeps it, holds it in place, keeps the book in place. That's really what it's for, which is a nice little added thing, I think. Okay, so you have the inside here. This is the back of the box, and like I said, great sturdy box. I think it's lovely. I am so pleased. Okay, so the cards and the book. Yes, there is a book. It is a smaller book, but it's really cool. Fits perfectly in here. The print's very easy to read, even though it is a smaller book, but it's nice. You can kind of carry it with you if you want. It does have illustrations in it of each card, and it has not only the quote, there are quotes on every card, which I talked about in the first video and why I did that. So the quote is inside the book. It talks about where that quote came from. It's not listed on the card itself because there just simply was not room to put every single poem or story title on there. So we put it in the book. It has keywords for the upright position and reversed position, because some people like to read reversals. What else? It also has, many of the cards have an insight in there about, instead of talking about how to read Tarot, because I feel like with this kind of deck, it's not a starter deck where you might want, you know, information on how to read Tarot or card spreads, or I feel like many people who will purchase this deck are collectors and readers already. So they already know the basics, you know, or know how to read Tarot. So I didn't go into, you know, an in-depth thing about card spreads and how to read cards and, you know, all of that kind of stuff, because I didn't feel it was necessary. However, what I did do was, on many of the cards, I have what I have called insights. So it was like the inspiration behind why I created the card, or what inspired the image, that kind of thing. So there's little bits and pieces like that in there. What else? Okay, so you have my dedication to you, which is dedicated to all those who leap off the precipice of the unknown and embark on the fool's journey with trust in their heart. As you will notice when we go through these cards, Edgar Allan Poe is the main focus of the fool's journey. That was very important to me. I wanted to kind of showcase him throughout the process and the people he would meet and interact with, which were obviously many of the people from his stories and poems. But there are images of Edgar Allan Poe throughout the cards, on the cards. I think there's over 20 cards with his image or likeness on there. Okay, so what else? Please read the foreword. I'm going to push that, because a lot of times I notice that when people review decks or do a kind of a run through of a deck, they don't talk about certain things in the book, and I'm sitting there going, read the foreword. And the reason I say read the foreword is was generously written by Chris Sempner, who is the curator of the Edgar Allan Poe Museum in Richmond, Virginia. So that, thank you, Chris, so much. I cannot even begin to tell you what that meant to me and what it continues to mean to me that you did that. So Chris contributed the foreword to this, and if you haven't been to the Edgar Allan Poe Museum in Richmond, Virginia, please go. I think you'll find it quite interesting and entertaining and all kinds of stuff. So he wrote the foreword. All right. Then we have a little welcome in here written by me. It talks about the deck, how it came to be, what inspired it, who inspired it, which I talked about in the first video, and I'm not going to go into that again. We have and then in a little introduction about the guidebook itself, and then I talk about the major arcana and break it down, major arcana, minor arcana, that kind of thing. So that's that for the booklet. Okay, so that's the book. Okay, what else? The cards. That's what you really want to see. I know. Okay, so these are the cards. Look at this gorgeous card. This is the back. It has a gloss to it, a nice glossy surface, which makes it easy in case you ever get anything on there. You can gently wipe that off. It's slightly embossed, slightly raised, which is really, really cool. The ravens on here are slightly raised. Obviously, you can read it upright or reverse, which is nice. The wonderful thing I want to talk about that I'm absolutely in love with is this red gilding on the side. It was the one thing I really, truly, truly wanted so bad. We were originally going to go with silver, and I said, can we please do red? Because, well, I thought, what better color to go with a black and white deck, and especially when you're talking about Poe and his stories, which often include blood and the macabre and whatever. So I thought this would be beautiful, and it's such a a lovely gilding on this. It's perfect. Honestly, I've seen some gilding on decks that wasn't, you know, wasn't very good, and this is, I think, in my opinion, is very good. Of course, I'm going to say it's really good because I'm the author and artist, but I really truly believe it. Okay, so the cards themselves, they follow the Rider-Waite-Smith formula, if you will, so it'll be easier, not easier, it'll be easy to read for people who understand that or read that way. Okay, so let's show you the cards. They are black and white. As I said, each one features a quote from Edgar Allan Poe on the deck. Those quotes were researched ad nauseum, and I know I'm not going to please everybody with the quotes I chose, but I really tried very hard to pick the ones that I thought would be appropriate and that would match up with the overall meaning for the card itself. Okay, so that was really important to me. All right, so first we start out. Who's starting out the Fool's Journey? Well, it has to be Poe, because that's who it's all about. So he is the Fool here with his lovely buddy, Pluto, from the Black Cat, waiting to, it says here, there is no passion in nature so demonically impatient as that of him who, shuddering upon the edge of a precipice, thus mediates a plunge. It's a perfect quote, I think, for the Fool. So, the Fool. The Magician. So we have Poe as the alchemist of his life, the creator, creating the raven. You will see the raven is sort of coming out of the book itself, so he is the magician here. We have the High Priestess. The quote from this is, "Let my heart be still a moment and this mystery explore," which is perfect, I think, for the High Priestess, of going inward and exploring the mysteries of our insights and our intuition. The Empress. This is based on a photograph, or not a photograph, but, well, it was like a painting of his mother. So I made her the Empress. And as a matter of fact, the quote says, "The angels whispering to one another can find among their burning terms of love name so devotional, none so devotional as that of mother." I'm sorry, I kind of mangled that a bit. But the Empress, Poe is the Emperor. This was probably the only image that was kind of different from the other ones. It was not quite as whimsical, and it was based on a portrait of Poe. I just felt like when I drew it, I didn't even plan really to put it into the deck itself, but it just, something about his eyes always said to me, please, please tell my story. I don't know, I just felt like that. Okay, so the Hierophant, the Lovers, and then of course the quote from that is, "And so all the night tide, I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride." So Annabelle, which is one of my ultimate favorites. The Chariot, which is from the Great Balloon Hoax. The Strength card. The Hermit. The Wheel. And you'll have to read in the book who these three women are. I'm not going to tell you, so you have to read the book. The Justice card, I will tell you, is one of my favorite cards that I drew in this book, or for this deck. It was one of my absolute favorites. I just thought it was so much fun to put Poe inside the skull and have him swinging the pendulum. The Hanged One. So, obviously this is not the Hanged Man. I wanted it to be more inclusive, so we have the Hanged One. The Death card, dancing with death itself. Temperance, another image featuring Poe. The Devil. The Tower, which is Fall the House of Usher. The Star. The Moon, for the moon never beams without giving me dreams. Annabelle Lee. Okay, the sun. They who dream by day are cognizant of many things which escape those who dream only by night. The sun. Of course, the sun, the woman in the sun is his mother looking down upon him. Judgment. The world. It is all that we see, but a dream within a dream. And there's, of course, Poe with the wings of the raven. Okay, so now the minor arcana. We have the Ace of Quills. The quills are equivalent to swords. Okay, 2 of quills. 3 of quills. 4 of quills. 5 of quills. The individual who purloined it is known. This beyond a doubt. He was seen to take it. It is known also that it still remains in his possession. I believe this is the purloined letter. I hope I got that right. I don't always remember every single one story, but sometimes I gotta look at the book. Okay, 6 of quills. 7 of quills. Misery is manifold. Can you guess what that's from? 8 of quills. Oh, another Pit and the Pendulum reference. Okay, 9 of quills. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me day and night. Now, if you can think of the 9 of Swords card, or this is 9 of Quills, 9 of Swords card is often what they call the nightmare card, where it shows somebody in bed, sort of like being kept up by worry. This is kind of the same concept here. And this is, what is this? Telltale Heart. Please forgive me if I stumble over my words here. I'm trying my best. Okay, 10 of Quills. Page of Quills. I loved drawing this image so much, and it's from Murders in the Rue Morgue, and I just wanted Poe sort of as the little boy detective. That's kind of how I saw him here for some reason. So he's the page. Knight of Quills. The Queen of Quills. The King of Quills. You will notice that all kings are Poe. Poe is the king in each suit. Okay, the Wells, equivalent to cups. Okay, so Ace of Wells. 2 of Wells. This would be Poe with his wife, Virginia. Okay. 3 of Wells. 4 of Wells. 5 of Wells. 6 of Wells. I believe this is, the quote is from, I believe, Eleonora. Could be wrong. I'd have to look at my book just to be 100% sure. But the image in here is in reference to, I believe I'm just going to look it up, the last woman that Poe was involved with before he died. Let's see. 6 of Wells. Oh, I'm sorry. The quote is from Spirits of the Dead. I think when I originally did this, the original quote I used was from Eleonora, and then I switched it last minute. So it is from Spirits of the Dead. And the image was inspired by the oval portrait. So sometimes you're going to find that in here. And that's why I suggest you read the book, because there's further insight on his works. Sometimes it was the work that really dictated the image, and then other times there were aspects of the work that it was the quote that inspired the image, and then I pulled from other places. So but I talk about that here. And the image we see, here's an example of the insight section. In this image, we see Edgar reflecting upon the past as he looks longingly at the portrait of Sarah Elmira Royalston Shelton. She was Edgar's childhood sweetheart and his fiancée before his death. And if you go and you look up an image of her, it looks kind of like I think it does. Anyway. All right, so 7 of Wells. Back to the reading. 8 of Wells. So everybody wants to know, where is this quote? Here it is. Quoth the raven, nevermore. 8 of Wells. 9 of Wells. It was a voluptuous scene, that masquerade. Can you guess what that's from? And you might recognize this gentleman over here as well. Okay, 10 of Wells. Page of Wells. Another little boy Poe. Knight of Wells. Queen of Wells. And I hope you can see the Edgar connection in here for me. He definitely is art inspired, a kind of feel that I wanted to have. I obviously did not want to copy from Edgar at all. That was never my intention, but I wanted to sort of pay homage to that style. So King of Wells, Poe as the king. Ace of Paws. Paws is equivalent to coins. So this is where Pluto plays quite a role in this suit. So Ace of Paws, 2 of Paws. You'll find Pluto throughout this suit. 3 of Paws, helping him build up that wall. 4 of Paws. 5 of Paws. This is a card that was another favorite for me to draw. I wanted it to show Pluto looking through a window. Now, whether he's on the outside or the inside is up to you. 6 of Paws. 7 of Paws. 8 of Paws. And 9 of Paws. Poe again. 10 of Paws. Page of Paws. Now we have the page here being Pluto as a kitten. Knight of Paws. Queen of Paws. This is in reference to Harry Clarke. I believe the image is from Faust. I could be wrong, but it's in reference to that, because he was another inspiration for this deck. The artwork of Harry Clarke. King of Paws. Ace of Candles. Candles would be equivalent to wands. 2 of Candles. 3 of Candles. 4 of Candles. Another image with Poe and his wife Virginia. 5 of Candles. 6 of Candles. 7 of Candles. 8 of Candles. 9 of Candles. 10 of Candles. Page of Candles. Knight of Candles. Queen of Candles. And finally, King of Candles. So that's it, my friends. That is the Poe Tarot. I hope you enjoyed this little walkthrough of the deck. If you have questions about the deck, if there's something that you're curious about, please comment. I'd love to hear your comments, your thoughts. And I do hope you enjoy this deck. And anyway, that's it, I guess, for now. So take care and be well.